So critical, when you're bringing empowerment, it means you are also looking into the issue of critical reflection. Again, what are you bringing when you're bringing empowerment? Another thing which is coming in is care, which means you're showing care to somebody. If you want to empower the disadvantaged, it means you are caring about them or for them. Because people were lacking all those things we just mentioned here. And another thing, when you are bringing empowerment, it means you want to bring equality. You want to bring equality when it comes to sharing of resources and other opportunities. So that's empowerment. On that one, we should also look at the social empowerment. Social empowerment. I could probably put this one in a group of all types of empowerment. Social empowerment. Social empowerment often addresses members of a group or groups. Because when we talk about social is something to do with the relations. So relations or relationships that take place where there are people. So where there are people, it means that's a group. So members of a group or groups that social discrimination processes have excluded them mainly from decision-making processes. For example, a group of the disabilities, a group of people with disabilities. You can agree with me that a lot of people who are disabled, they are being discriminated against. They lack a lot of things. They lack an access to a lot of things because of their status or well-being. The state in which they are, many people with that challenge or those challenges, they are not regarded to be as human beings, so to say. Some of them, when it comes to access to employment, simply because you are blind, you can't be given a job. And again, some people can be discriminated against based on their race or ethnicity or religion and even gender. So empowerment as a methodology is also associated with feminism. Is also associated with feminism, the way they are put there. So we wanted that part to be tackled. I've done it. Okay, let us look at the background of empowerment. How did it start? The empowerment? What actually happened? And before we go there, who do you think could be the first people to cry for empowerment? Who are the first people to cry for empowerment? Women. Are you sure? Let us hear from this background of empowerment. The actual term empowerment was first commonly used in association with women's movement. There are women's movements previously. So this movement is within a discussion or discourse or discussion of feminism that drew on the influence of popular education and focused on the role of the individual in politics. So which means there are two professions here that are being brought or talked about in education. In education, influence of popular education. So which means first of all we look into the issue of education and again the issue of politics. Which means in those two areas women felt kind of like being sidelined. Women felt kind of like they were sidelined. No wonder there was this movement which came out and stood for women to say, we women are also supposed to take part in education as well as in politics. So the actual term empowerment was first commonly used in as towards the women's movement that just written. Okay, so in the mid-1980s, the empowerment of women became an important part of the debate. On which part? On which area? In the area of gender and development. Gender and development. Gender and development. By the way, what is gender? What is gender all about? Gender, what is it all about?
I think those are just some laws and responsibilities assigned to people.
Roles.
According to
Roles or responsibilities. Responsibilities. Roles. When we talk about gender, we are looking at these things, roles or responsibility that can be played by, that can be played or executed by either male or female. Male or female, or men or women. Who is supposed to do this job or task? Who is supposed to do this task? Previously, these could be divided. No wonder during our time at school, you could hear some courses could only be pursued by men, like engineering. Engineering is a Zumani hapata course ya engineering. But in the chiki sasa. Never seen Jesus hakuzazi Zumani. You see? Which is not the case. So in mid-1980s, the issue of empowerment came, and mainly was looking into the issues, or the debate was more on gender and development. Gender and development. So roles and development. So the concept or the idea of empowerment was propelled further by feminist critics of development. There was a critique that took place, a discourse or a discussion about development. So feminists or women, a group of women, we heard that there was a campaign by women, there was movement by women. So they critiqued it to say maybe when it came to development, women were not involved in development. They were not partners. Because when we are talking about, in the society, we have both males and females, or men and women in any society. And when it comes to development, these two groups of people are partners. They're supposed to be partners in development. It could be women voiced out during that particular time after having seen that women were being sidelined in development. When we talk about developmental issues, women were not taken on board. Only men were counted to be the ones who were supposed to do the development thing. So women stood up to say no, we are also supposed to participate in any kind of development. So let us hear on the issues of development. So the feminist critiques of development. Now, the women in development approach women in development. Women in development. That is to say, women are also supposed to be in the development. So women in development, which we can abbreviate to say, with approach. It was an approach which sought to include women in development for efficient purposes. Was now accused of not questioning the underlying reasons for female subordination. Was now accused of not questioning the underlying reasons for female subordination. That is to say, on this approach, women in development, which means women were dominated in development. And nobody questioned about that. Nobody questioned about that. So, did this exist longer? Did it exist long? Let us see if it existed longer. Because you've seen here, not both men and women, but it's only women in what? Women in what? In development. But you're supposed to do what? To take on board both men and women in development. But in this case, it's only women in development. And the question will be, why are not people asking? Because women are in subordination. Why not questioning? So let us hear. Women in development. Definitely this approach probably was criticized. Why only women? Where are men? So let us hear. The gender and development approach came in. Gender and development. Which approach is this one? Which developed in reaction, which means the first one was criticized. Why only women in development? This time around, gender and development. So in gender and development, which is known as GAD, developed in a reaction, it reacted to other questions you have raised. Why only women in development approach was concerned with the way in which the inclusion of women in the development process increased their weight burden or displaced it elsewhere in the family. So in so doing, the GAD approach addressed the dynamics of gender relations and social context, value systems, and above all power. So that is to say, empowerment was very much connected to the emerging GAD approach, with its associated actor-oriented and bottom-up method. So this one was looking at all angles. It was looking at all angles. No one had here they are saying it was looking at the association of actors. So who are these actors in development? Actors in development, both men and women. Sure. So associated actors oriented. This one was associated actor oriented. GAD, associated actor oriented. This one wanted to take on board both men and women. So empowerment during that particular time went on like that. And when we're talking about empowerment as well, more especially in the late 90s, from the mid 90s up to late 90s, a lot of black Americans, African black Americans, they were being sidelined in so many sectors or areas in America. In so doing, they started crying and they wanted to be equal with the whites. If you read, you hear what actually was happening in the United States of America. They wanted to be promoted. They had the capacity of doing whatever they could, but they had no that chance. So they started formulating empowerment groups or organizations to cry out, to voice out their concerns. They also started crying out, wanting to be involved in political activities. Now, let us have a look at the types of empowerment. Types of empowerment. Types of empowerment. We've been given 5 types, and the first one being social empowerment. Social empowerment. This one is one of the most significant or well-known forms of empowerment shown in the mainstream media. It strengthens people's social relations. I earlier on saying, when we are talking about social, the word social, it means we are talking, or we are looking at the way how people relate to one another. Social. How people relate to one another. It could be in a family, or in schools, workplaces, etc., etc. So in those areas, definitely if you are talking about empowerment, in those bringing empowerment to those groupings, it means there is a certain group of people in those groupings which is complaining of not having an opportunity of getting ABC. Such being the case, they are crying for empowerment, or empowerment is supposed to be brought in those gatherings. Empowerment is supposed to be brought in those gatherings. So social relations and their position in social structures. So giving them more of a purpose outside of the home. So sometimes those people who have lesser power in such groupings, they feel like they can contribute. They feel like they can contribute. But that chance of contributing, they don't have. But all what they need is to be empowered. All what they need is to be empowered. Yes, they have the capacity, the ability to contribute, but simply because they are powerless. All what they cry for is they cry for empowerment. They cry for empowerment. So social empowerment will fight back against discrimination. Will fight back for those people who are crying. Will fight back for those people who are crying. So that's about social empowerment. The second type of empowerment is education, educational empowerment. You know for sure that education is the key to empowerment. Education is the key to empowerment. And without proper education of any kind, empowerment cannot be possible. So education puts everyone on equal footing. Education puts everyone on equal footing. It brings equality. Education brings equality. And they are saying not only that, but also when you are getting access to education, it means you are obtaining knowledge, or you are boosting your self-confidence. You are boosting your self-confidence. Again, you are also building self-esteem. You are building self-esteem. Furthermore, you are also being self-sufficient. You are also being self-sufficient. So education, again, if you are being empowered educationally, it means they are giving you an access to the development of social, political, and intellectual, and also religious consciousness. What you're bringing in your brain, it means you're bringing a lot of things. You have an access to development of social, political, intellectual, religious consciousness, and also you be in a position to maybe even enter into discussions which probably before you acquired vast knowledge you could not stand and then contribute. But the fact that you've been added more power in terms of education, in terms of knowledge or skills, you've been in a position to walk the talk wherever there's some discussions. Because you're built up intellectually. You've been built up intellectually. So, when you are giving people education, it means you are giving them power to analyze things critically, and again, when you are bringing education to people, it means you are helping them to care for themselves and even their families, because they will know about their life. That's about education. No wonder people say persons without education fail. Education is the key to success. You can succeed in so many areas because you have knowledge, you have skills, which you've gone through the obtaining of knowledge. Another type of empowerment is economic empowerment. Economic empowerment. Economic empowerment. Economic empowerment, this one is talking about people say money can't buy happiness. Money can't buy happiness. But being at an economic disadvantage can take away access to becoming empowered. If you don't have money, you're powerless. True or false? Man has power of doing whatever it can. But can money buy you happiness? It can? So being poor Being poor, landless, what does that mean? Property. Right. Okay. Being poor, landless, deprived, or oppressed does not allow access to resources that those in good financial standings do. Do you get what I say? Listen to what they say.
Yes.
If you don't have land, if you don't have, money, you are being oppressed because of your status, and so on and so forth. If you are in that status, it means you cannot stand as that somebody who has either money, who has property. You cannot stand. They are comparing between two people. You're lucky, he or she has. Can you compete with him? Can you stand?
And I think we also have the issue whereby in most cases when you want to be granted a loan, you have to show what you
have the capacity.
If you don't have anything, I don't think you can get the loan. So I'm thinking it's
we got to show it.
For a good example, here in Malawi, for somebody to have access to some of the needs and resources, so that means you don't have forward, you don't have running, that means you're not qualified to have the benefit of some.
That's what they do normally do in the banks. They call it shooting. You fail to give them back their money. What is the bank going to take back from you? You've taken or you've borrowed 10 million from the bank. The bank is lending you 10 million. Hoping you give it back. You'll be getting some interest from whatever. You'll be giving it back. Maybe on a monthly basis, or it depends on the agreement which you ratify. You have been owed. So if you fail to honor whatever you promised them to be giving back, you come back and then grab whatever they can take from you. So closing this gap, there is a gap in between the poor and the rich. To close in this gap, can this gap be closed?
Yes.
Can the gap be closed between the poor and the rich? Are you sure? It can. Are you sure?
This is true.
Can this gap be closed?
Yes.
I don't think even in the United States of America, so that even in China. The gap will remain there. So take our time. What's the kind of more?
I think the gap should be there. I think the gap should be there. Well, if the book was very good, I will say that very much one and then I will put it for 100. But the gap should be there.
Yeah, the gap. What about it? Yes, sir.
Yeah, exactly. So even as a God, it is also once around.
Okay, I will closing this gap would allow everyone to have equal footing. Also, category they are equal. You allow these people to operate equally. And women in particular will gain a more significant share of control over the material. I think this one.
But if that gap can be crossed, That means just imagine the world without that gap. I think it can be a hell.
Somebody here in Malawi, a young guy, has invented a machine of Sima cook.
There is in a Bible for that, there is no way sometimes we say. In a Bible for that,
if all of us were rich, people can come.
My ex will take out putting I just survive. When it's my I can't even. Wow, very much food out, very few station in my tennis.
Wow, I don't know what kind of a wow it is to live. Okay, we have another empowerment which is known as political empowerment. Having a choice in politics, having a choice, people choose to be in a political party. Yes. Having a choice in politics can be substantial in letting a group's view be pushed into the light of mainstreaming, and that is no different for advocating women's rights. The political involvement of discriminated groups implies the decentralization of power and authority in deprived, oppressed, and powerless people who have not been able to participate in the decision-making process and the implementation of policies and programs of both government and organizations, as well as familial and societal matters. In other words, having political influence would not only give a voice to those who haven't had a voice in how things are done, but it would also allow the possibility of policies and programs being put into place. Okay, when we're talking about political empowerment, in the first place, what is politics? And who are being empowered in political empowerment? What is politics? What is politics all about? Politics. Politics is all about what? Governance. Politics is all about governance or ruling. In all ways, I hate somebody who interprets it this way. Politics in Tunda. I hate him. He or she. Because the essence behind politics is to choose people to govern, to rule. When this one started in Greece, politics started in Greece. The word politics in Greece is police. Police. In Greece is a country which is made up of states. Just like Nigeria, there is Anambra State, there is Kano State, there is Jinjan State, Ogun State. It's my state America also. Just like United States of America. United States of America, they have Texas, they have Oregon, Arizona, and so on and so forth. Massachusetts, Washington DC, they blah blah blah. All those states, they are forming one country. Now, in each state, the government, they are supposed to have a leader, the overall boss, to take good care of whatever, maybe government administration, and so on and so forth. Are we together? So, my states, however, were known as police. Now, the process of choosing people to govern the police, the state, the medical that process, politics, or see that we want to choose the leaders to govern the police. The process of choosing a leader as though analyzing the politics. Tusanga Sobole, Azira Mdira, state actually, state of the police to govern, to rule this police, this district, or this state. What did that? Because one that somebody will wait like our manifesto and so those ideas should be convinced beyond the reasonable doubt if you ever become such. District in the state and the essence of the word idari is connotation. Why if I make the same amount of one same here, who call us down that who told that we want to have that it's how we put it. That you know that who call us down that the people are there now. Politics is not all about that, it's about government. Can you hear that? So, who are supposed to govern? If we talk about politics, it's all about governance or ruling. Now, we have a kind of that mind. Women are weak creatures. I will give a very good example of what actually by then. The sample is usually body artificial. It is a mobile in our 2019. 2019, yes, 2019. Might be about 2019. That's what we have to return to 2019. Now, 2019, I will talk about what actually happened in medical space. There was a certain woman, well-educated doctor, I will not mention the name, Dr. Barbara. That's some chance college, commercial deep or multiple, we have some international organizations coming. The fact that lady, you were paying. Someone is going to have a ship, blah, 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 blah. Every vessel, like everything. They don't the part of the we have no window, such a one. You see, that lady wanted to stand on LGBT. And that another school in Ageso was the headmaster of school in Ageso, the community day in Chisu. So, I'm in UTF, and I'm UTF for women. But maybe independent student people and a American life. Ufuna zote za treatment. Ndio kwa sababu gani zakusogolo adapa katika campaign ni smart amini smart well educated ma connection kali nao ili kusema tuna kuomba kwa hivyo yeka ni ma connection kali nao kwenye international organization na kwa sababu na staff the left that legend ni kumpa katika campaign kwa private ni kupita kwa this gentleman na sana wetu ni kumwingiza kwa private so kwa sababu kwa private kwa team na election ndio anaona kwa private when my private came my election ndio chuo mpaka kwa pesa hizo ndio tukana kwa sankara kwa mnaji mama mnaji chema mnaji tukani maji now here they're saying governance who can govern muone mfumo wali zinzanji zoko za kutia mungu not admira not hapa roho ama cheza kama mmoja basi ya kula kwa sababu kama ni basi muzika ije tukina mmoja zinzanji so here what they say governance foreign political empowerment was supposed to be empowered. They're supposed to be empowered. In this case, our women of women who are being regarded as powerless. They don't have power. When it comes to politics, when it comes to governance, only men are thought to be moral when it's the governance. That's not true. That's not true. Women, they are very discriminated. When we talk about governance is not only yes, governance in company, in an institution. Governance is much very difficult, even in an institution like governance, to run this thing. Then now, I want to be done, Doctor is my doctor. Tukana mwenye zimani president atawa college akale mzibani fasika mwenye zimani president sio tai yes sima ndo kacho kesi so in other words having political influence will not only give a voice to those who have a voice. Women don't have a voice. In our things are governed, but it will also allow the possibility of policies and programs being put into place that will work with these discriminated groups. When we talk about political empowerment, bring policies and programs to work with these discriminated groups. Bring power. You are trying to energize those people who are being discriminated against, who don't have power, who are powerless, who are disadvantaged. That's what is called governance. Political empowerment. And the political involvement of discriminated groups implies the decentralization that is bound, bringing power to the people. Decentralization. Already about that. You need to bring back power to the people, or the authority to the people. Which people? Those people who are disadvantaged, deprived of, or oppressed or powerless, who have not been able to participate well in the decision-making process. Yes, that's political empowerment. That's political empowerment.
So before you go further, my attention is clear with what if you can explain another way? Because I want to say most
political empowerment. Okay. First of all, understand what we politics. Politics. Yes. Politics about governance. Ulamu. Kabila. Ulamuna. Kabila kuchongolea. Mungabila kulamu muta kuchongolea.
Yeah, so
yeah.
Okay. Now this empowerment we are talking about is mainly focusing on those who are ruling. What is it like? Or we're trying to empower those people who are governing us.
Thank you very much. Today, Amuna Ndiakas. Purely. Amuna, Kapena, woman and man. Women and men. Lero, pakufunika, kalipa kampani, tukasangiwe, pamalira, manager. Kapena manager watoka, wakaritari. Mabisabu. Rich is there's a vacant position. First thing, there's a vacant position. And this vacant position is supposed to be filled by either a woman or a man. Now, there is a habit or a tendency. You only have to stingala believe this is mine. Now, why you cannot be ruled by a woman? There is a bias. Bias is illogical. There is no any logic. You cannot justify. Chigani looks from Chibani. You know, because you bias. You are open. You are Bachelor of Education in Science. You only certificate. You are accounting. Come vacant position in India to funa position of science. You will see how we will go about it. Can I justify to people who are 50? I don't have anything to tell you. Could you indulge your share with your Can I? Must be bad. Now, when we talk about empowerment, the word empowerment, to give power. Empowerment, to give power. To give power to who? The oppressed, the marginalized. Those people don't have access. Now, when political empowerment, Maori empowerment, is power. Now, politics is about governance. Leader. Woman who entrepreneurial Gulina is powerless. Now, it is supposed to be empowered. Give power to those women. Must not give power to those women. Must not have the men and women. If it is purposely led, could it be a so you're supposed to empower women, give that position for the man. You have empowered you. Kapena, okay, it's a group of people which is being discriminated against. So give that man. But
in your case, you are saying the woman was given the chance to stand on the cross, right?
What?
But people decided to vote for the man.
Oh, but what's this part?
Yeah, you were given a chance to stand in that position at the legislature.
I think we should also understand that what the way I fix the college and house is training given the past. I feel like political empowerment is there to empower this country. According to our culture and according to how we believe things should not be like that, but we should be equally. Give them each and everyone.
Yes.
That's why there's an introduction to
on merit. We will need to on merit. So when we are equality. Kumano society has deliberately chosen not for the equality on their reasons best known by them.
He was like empowerment,
Of course. Financially, that's why. Didn't have that opportunity to another pound that he matched because financially it was not okay. Ndipo baada kama today na mtu okay eneo tegemea kitabu kama tulio ninayo ni pasa you could have been empowered.
There is a political empowerment.
Even economic empowerment. Economic empowerment.
Women, how many women representation? Equal representation. Among them, be a media. Only a man aspiring to see commanding my
1 minute.
Canada picture opinion that I will need. Because by the nature of our city of Malawi,
so in other hands, it's not going to be power. When the story was on the way down in the south, I want to say it.
Amena mapondele, apapondele, utekelezwa kuti empower. To empower it means to add more power. The our community already ya unisoma as mine. But it's what was yana zachuma, umaso kula mliu ifeo singa maamuni that mine. Nature. Yes, maawe imenya matingira yuo makanisa mengi na ufunda mtu ukisinga mtu that's mine. But if you do that, you say right as mine possible. Simuka kwa kanisa. Hivi ni lazima kwa mwina akwea mtetenda amfanyia nao. Inus osanga kala kwa. So, pali group women na zindikira katika national na kwa spot whatever. Imagine ya kuti community ya kwa as mine. No matter what. Kaimaya ni drama, kumuda kaini chance ama kuteleza. Ndiba iwewe kuzipeleka kuti zimai kadi ni drama so wanina wapuka iwewe attempt us mkulina kuti afuna akaimile ifetipeleka drama kuti zimai akaimile because we want equal representation in the national assembly.
But it would also allow the possibility of policies and programs to be put in place that would work with those different groups. So who are for example, what women are women? So it means that specific programs and programs that have been put in place.
Women always have on discriminated groups. When they discriminated groups, we are very never been in Yamata. I'm anyway here that I really can't see after we allow prayer. Mamma, ask you, after we operate, ask you, Zimana, Montana, come discriminate Musa simply because she sounds many years apart. So she sounds family, that's he or she, and it was supposed to be empowered. And she will be very at you. Community that is Mufasa, even Mufasa is very key.
The whole point to be possible. I think on that part, all the African countries are failing.
For me, in I like this one.
All the African countries are.
They are planning to go at this time 2025. So getting on the
Time to wait on this or time to
we are going to investigate guys. So no, investigate guys. We are going to go. Investigate guys.
Now, don't say that now,
finance.
As a issue,
anaongea gharama na organization.
Hiyo sababu nyingine ndio nauli unaona kale mdogo atizo kufunga ile ile kama kusawima ibadilani. Mambo sema ibadilani kwa msagara wale.
Nikambi ya mambo ya
Ndio kwa nini huko?
Mungu ya kutoka ile. Kwa kutegemea kutupatia iwe you don't support him. Kwa maana unasema nini? Mulima machache ukoza kuita ile kitu. Because MCP ndio tunataka wale kutoka president wa MCP tuimira peto people katika mtopoti kama tuliwo wewe chipani sasa chipani kisitaki biashara mbali wewe makazi wao kulima chipani ulimadeleka GPP ulimadeleka kwa programu na mama baba anamsibia sio unasasa hiyo that's why movement development needs because the somebody ambaye mwingine hapo za kuvote leo huyo hapo za kutoka kwa mambo sasa ni vote na sisi because of jina pia mwingine not yeye hapo chipani
Mungu na wa matimize au wapi za bila maraka na bila usi
ya
imana mambo ni wapi
ya ifuka kuima even if the reason behind why they are saying that maweza ndipo kuna ndani sio ndio ndivyo kupita kwa hiyo hivi ni rekodi ya sio ikifika hivi amgoika they want to preserve children sio kupita kwa hiyo zinaona na zisizo and don't hii tunaona ni thing because such a level performance always typical one that's why when you want to shungana kaida kwa alimu ndio hapa
think they said yana ni mwanga hiyo
como umeweza kuelewa
imani mafizi mkanga ni media ilikuwa jinja ndio ilikuwa jinja no mimi mani mmoja tu there is a lot of aspects that we go around this topic we're talking about trying